Hello everyone, this is Kirti Maheshwari. Me and my team members have been given the opportunity to talk about the cement industry and two of the cement producing companies, Ambuja and Ultratech Cement. Let's get started. The cement industry is one of the main industries necessary for sustainable development. As you all know, it is considered the backbone for development. Now, if we talk about cement, it is a basic material for building and civil engineering construction, which is finely ground, non-metallic, inorganic powder which when get mixed with water forms a paste that sets and hardens. The cement manufacturing process involves three components: the mining and preparation of inputs, the chemical reactions that produce clinker, and the grinding of clinker with other additives to produce cement. And when we talk about the the cement production reached to 329 million tons in financial year 20 and is projected to reach 381 million tons by financial year 22. As India has a high quantity and quality of limestone deposits throughout the country, the cement industry promises huge potential for growth. India is the second largest producer of cement after China and has a lot of potential for development in the infrastructure and construction sector. And this sector is expected to largely benefit from it. To understand better how we can take good advantage of opportunities, let's look at the pestle analysis. Pestle analysis include political, environmental, social, and technological factors which affects both the companies as well as the industry. Let's start with political. The price of cement is mainly controlled by the rates which are predominantly controlled by government. Example, coal rates, power tariff, royalty on limestone, and etc. Government is also one of the biggest consumer of the cement with various housing projects, construction projects, etc. The government has provided the cement companies a great opportunity by investing in infrastructure with various programs like Manrega and raise the minimum support price of cement enhancing rural income boosting cement demand in rural areas. Now talking about economical, the industry is on boom with a lot of government infrastructure and housing project under construction and construction of transportation systems. The infrastructure development of the state in the recent year is the demand driver for the cement industry. Growth in tourism sector is also fueling the increase in construction of hotels in the state. Now talking about social factors, the industries mainly rely on mining operations for its product impacting large number of people and the environment around it. Cement industry firms are actively indulging in CSR activities promoting education for underprivileged, supporting clean and green tech as cement industry is an energy intensive industry with high emissions commissions. Companies are using latest technologies to meet the environmental standards. When we talk about technological factors, continuous technological upgrading and assimilation of latest technology are going on in the cement industry since there is tremendous scope for waste heat recovery in cement plants. The wet process of cement manufacturing is mostly replaced by the dry process. Talking about legal factors, the legal framework for mining activities is also covered under various acts. There are necessary guidelines to set up cement plant in India and there is a need of regulator in big cement companies. The cement industries is operating in cartels as said by Nitin Gadkari. Talking about environmental factors, cement industry is a high volume process and hence require adequate quantities of resources that is raw material, thermal fuel and electrical power. Raw materials extraction causes serious environmental problems by damaging the landscape and most of these raw material become scarce. Cement industry is considered as one of the most pollution hazardous industry. Poor air quality, water pollution and garbage pollution all affect the food and environment quality necessary for ecosystem. Now my friend Samit will talk about the key success factors of this industry.
So now coming over to the key success factors for the cement industry. First of all, we have the geographic advantages. So for in the cement industry, the major components which are required is limestone as well as a constant source of water. And in a country like India, we have many regions where both of them are available at the same location. Hence, major costs are saved for the transportation of the limestones or the water. Then coming over to the legal, regulatory, and environmental scenario. Now, the cement industry is one of the most polluting industries in the terms of carbon dioxide emissions. Apart from that, also the waterways which it utilizes for its source of water, it usually dumps a lot of wastages into that, and hence it causes a lot of pollution. So, if the government has strict regulations and guidelines, then a lot of cost is increased in this due to this factor. And also being the opposite being true, if there are certain regions or government or certain the governments of certain nations which allow which have lenient regulations, then a lot of cost can be saved in those areas as well. Then coming over to the technological advancement, a recent innovation which came into place was when the cement manufacturing technology, it changed from the wet manufacturing to the dry manufacturing. Now this made a huge increase in the profit margin because it saved around 5 to 10% percentage of the manufacturing cost, which usually occurred in the wet manufacturing process. Now coming over to the cost structure and competitiveness. Now the cement industry is an industry which has a well-established players, and there is fierce competition amongst each other, while at the same time the barriers of entry are quite high. So new players cannot enter into this industry very easily, but already the existing ones they cannot increase their prices beyond a certain margin due to competitive pricing. At the same time, they can make their cost structure more efficient by selecting a better geographic advantage or making sure that their factory is nearer to the market. So the major costs can be saved in terms of transportation. Now about the industry, the market size is quite huge, especially in India. The eastern states are untapped markets, and they are there is really there are high potential in those areas, and the market growth rate is growing at a rate of CAGR of 4.38% percentage. The market profitability is quite good, and it has been predicted to be at 20% for the financial year 2021 by the Economic Times. The cyclicality, it is a cyclical industry because even though the cement industry, even cement is a desirable resource, at the same time we can continue our lives even without it. So it is a cyclical industry, though it is desirable. And the international potential, it is quite high because India is the second largest producer of cement in the world. And apart from that, for the financial year of 2019, the exports were summed up to be $1.66 billion. Now Anshuman will take over.
Thank you, Samir. After the industry analysis, we'll be entering the cement industry and talk about one of the most two successful companies in this industry and what they have done right over these years to achieve this feat. Starting with Ambuja Cement Limited, one of the leading cement manufacturing industries, part of global conglomerate Holism, was founded in year 1983 by Narottam Seth Saria and Suresh Niyota. It started with one plant in Ambuja Nagar, Gujarat, with capacity of 700,000 tons per annum. The principal activity of this company has always been to manufacture and market cement and clinker for both domestic as well as exports market. Over the years, company has surged ahead towards its mission to create value for all delighted customers, inspired employees, enlightened partners, and energized society, loyal shareholders, healthy environment, with a vision to be most sustainable and competitive company in cement industry. Ambuja offers a wide range of product portfolio, and it includes Ambuja Cement, Ambuja Ruby Special, Ambuja Cool Walls, Ambuja Copism with lightest carbon particles, bringing sustainability to people homes. Now, coming to the timeline and development of company over the years. In the year 1983, company was established as a joint venture between the public sector Gujarat Industrial Investment Corporation and Narottam Seth Saria and Associates. In May 1983, the company was rehabilitated into public limited company. In the year 1985, the company set up a cement plant in technical cooperation with Kerr Policies, Bagaw Wolf and Fuller KCP. During the year 1988-89, the company commissioned the 12.6 million watts diesel generating sets. In the year 1999, the company got necessary approvals for setting up another cement plant with 1 million ton capacity per annum at Himachal Pradesh. The year 1997, the company started commercial production in Kodinar plant with an enhanced capacity. In the year 2000, giants Larsen & Toubro and Gujarat Ambuja Cements entered a unique agreement to reduce the transportation cost and dispatching bulk cement in Gujarat. In year 2002, company started commercial production at Maratha Cement Work plant. In June 2002, they started the commercial production in the new 2 million ton greenfield cement at Chandrapur, Maharashtra. The year 2004, Ambuja Cement Rajasthan was amalgamated with the company. In February 2005, the company set up a cement mill with a capacity of 80 TPH at Darla Ghat and commenced commercial production. They commenced a captive thermal plant with two 12 million watt steam turbo generators with two boilers of 45 TPH capacity. On July 2005, Indo-Nippon Special Cements Limited, a subsidiary company, was amalgamated with the company. In 2006, the global cement major Holcim acquired management control of the company. 2009-10, company commenced commercial production at two new 2.2 million ton clinker production line at Bhatapara, Chhattisgarh, Rauri, Himachal Pradesh, and respectively in 2009 and 2010. In year 2011, the company started commercial production in a new cement mill at cost of approx rupees 185 crore at Bhatapara plant. In 2016, Ambuja Cement announced the completion of 338 crore expansion project as Sunkrail grinding the unit to 2.4 million ton per annum from 1.5 million per ton per annum. On 2017, Ambuja Cement announced the launch of superior composite cement product for better sustainability under the brand name. On 2018, Ambuja acquired a new coal block, the Gay Plasma Sector 4th 8 in Chhattisgarh. Now coming to the finance capital of the company, we can see company had total assets of around 26,991 crore. We can see company has a good net working capital, in which we can say company has enough capital to finance its day-to-day operations and enough to cover its current liabilities. And we can also see that company works on low borrowings, and we can say that it is good because in the case of cement industry, operating leverage is already very high, so it is good to reduce its financial leverage to reduce the risk. And company has good retained earnings. Value chain activities basically includes land acquisition, procurement, R&D, and key outcomes. You can see revenue from operations was 11,668 crores, and we can see that Ambuja is the second best company in India in the terms of revenue and million tons production. Also, we can see the margin and other things are maintained good by the company. By Ambuja to become a successful company. During the entry time itself, Ambuja went into a speedy setup of plants. As we saw in timeline, company kept on setting up cement plants all over India. Ambuja, over the years, has always maintained its quality and never compromised with that. Company also has a good HR policy. It focuses on unlocking potential of employees, recruiting experienced people to the team. Company over the years have extensively advertised and is known for its creative and innovative TV ads showing unbreakable walls and super strength of Ambuja cement. For example, the ad featuring Great Khali got famous showing the strength of Ambuja. Company always has been efficient with transformation and logistics. It was first cement company to use CS transportation. Coming to research and development, company had its own research and development department in 1989 itself. Company has always focused on cost reduction to increase its profit. For example, it shifted from liquid to solid fuel to reduce cost of captive energy. Coming to environmental production. Environmental production is something which has been differentiating factor for Ambuja. We can say it is one of the most environmental friendly company in the cement industry, for which it has been awarded many awards, and there are different policies which has been adopted by Ambuja for environmental production. Now over to Arnab for further
Thank you, Anshuman. Now, I've been given the opportunity to talk about the biggest cement company by revenue and by production capacity currently working in India. I'm talking about UltraTech Cement. But before I jump in to talk about the strategic capabilities about this company, let me tell you about its mission and vision statements. Its mission is to deliver superior value to stakeholders on the four pillars: of sustainability, customer centricity, innovation, and team empowerment. Its vision is to be the leader in building solutions. UltraTech Cement has a diverse portfolio of products serving different needs and different segments of customers. A retail customer would use UltraTech Cement or seal and dry variant of the product, whereas the other products that are generally sold in contract basis to big real estate projects are UltraTech Concrete. There are also other products that are very usage based. For example, UltraTech Fire Safe Concrete is used to insulate industrial boilers. A wide range of products keeps UltraTech open to business from very diverse backgrounds as well. UltraTech Cement is not at all reliant on a single mode of business like retail. UltraTech Cement started in mid-1980s when Vikram Cement, owned by Grasim Industries and Indian Rayon Cement, merged into one entity. But it actually became UltraTech in 2004, and I wanted to talk about the major acquisitions that happened after 2004. Because these acquisitions are the reason why UltraTech Cement has such an exhaustible source of limestone and high production capacity. If we take a look at the acquisitions after 2004, UltraTech was able to acquire some big national cement brands like Binani, JP Cement, or SDCL. They were all acquired by UltraTech Cement. They also started brownfield expansion in places like Chhattisgarh and Karnataka by opening grinding units there. The financial performance for UltraTech Cement should be measured by two parameters. Of course, the conventional one that gives us account of the revenue generated by the company and the net profit of the company. UltraTech Cement has raked in the highest revenue among all the cement companies in India for a long period of time. This can also be attributed to the amount of sales they do. The net profit margin for UltraTech Cement was 14% last year. Another parameter that is very important is how much cash operating profit, that is EBITDA, is generated by the company per ton of the cement sold. As we can see that last financial year, it is at its highest even though the company raked in almost the same revenue as the year before. This shows us how much more efficient the company has become after it saw a fall in profit margin in financial year 19. The corporate strategy used by UltraTech Cement revolves around these salient points. It wants to do rapid expansion. In that way, not only is it finishing off regional competition, but it is also increasing its production capacity. Last year, UltraTech was able to sell 81.03 million tons of cement. Another advantage that UltraTech Cement gets is that it has a very stable parent company like Aditya Birla Group, which brings in its financial deep pockets and HR resources. If cement industry comes down to a price war, UltraTech will be able to perish its competitors. Talking about the marketing strategy of UltraTech, the product entered the market with a tagline, "The Engineer's Choice." This depicts how premium quality the product is, as the company suggests that qualified engineers have approved the brand. The company is also known to aggressively promote its products, with such an aggressive strategy being an important aspect of its marketing mix. Such a strategy has involved association with sports such as the most popular game in India, cricket, and hockey, etc., to market its brand as a youthful and energetic choice. It is also known to have promoted Chak De India, a widely watched film. It always knows how to stay in the public eye, and it knows it very well. Whenever you think cement, it's always one of the first names you think of. Now, Shirish will take over from here.
So now moving on to technological disruption and how the cement industry is evolving. So we will cover here 4 points. The first one is the waste heat recovery in cement plants and thereby reduction in emission level. Well, it is an established practice to use alternate sources of energy to reduce the cost of manufacturing. One of the approved practices is to have the waste heat recovery system installed. Energy is a major input in the cement manufacturing process and is being met through captive power generation to run the operations cost effectively. On an average, energy costs around 40% of the production cost for the cement manufacturing. Cement plants in India have installed coal-based captive power plants, that is CPP, which are in operation for several decades. Before this technology was introduced, 30 to 40% of the heat generated in the cement rotary kiln and after quenching cooler processes of a cement plant were wasted, and therefore efforts were made to use the waste heat productively to bring down the cost of production. It uses the heat generated through the rotary preheater, that is PH, and AQC exhaust hot gases for power generation. These hot gases are used to generate steam in a steam generator, that is boiler, which is further used to generate electricity power through a steam turbo generator, that is STG. Typically 20 to 30% power requirement of the cement plant can be fulfilled using this waste of heat power for generation applications, which is a substantial savings reduction in the overall cost of production. The waste heat recovery power generation market for the Indian cement industry is served by domestic and foreign suppliers and joint ventures between the domestic and foreign suppliers. While more than 60% of the cement plant have adapted the waste heat recovery based power plants, large cement companies are considering WHR power plants for their greenfield projects. So that is something from the waste heat recovery in cement plants and thereby reduction in emission level. Moving on to the induction of advanced technology. Use of nanotechnology in the cement production is already a process that has been started from 2017. They are also working on to improve the transport logistics. They are also looking forward for the digital solutions, and they are searching for new reserves.
So now coming on to the last 2 points of technological disruption and how the cement industry is evolving. So the third point on our list is the wet process of cement manufacturing that has been mostly been replaced by dry process. So as the dry process saves heat consumption needed for moisture evaporation, and therefore this method has more advantage of energy saving, high production efficiency and stable output. At the same time, there is less sewage discharge in the dry process of cement production. Both Ambuja Cement and Ultratech Cement uses this method over wet process. Now coming on to the last point, that is renewable source of fuel. So the usage of renewable source of energy by wind energy, solar energy and biomass has been increased in the industry, and currently the cement industry is exploring the new options in order to generate renewable energy on a more reliable basis. The industry is also currently in the process of using waste over the raw material and fossil fuel. So the uses of alternatives like rice husk, rubber tire chips, mustard waste and sawdust are being used in the industry currently. So now this brings us to the end of our presentation. In the presentation, we have tried exploring and providing you our insight of past analysis of cement industry in India, to growth story of Ambuja Cement and Ultratech Cement, then in the end the technological disruption and how the industry is evolving from it. Thank you.